One of my favorite interviews was a guy who I'd been trying to just see or get close to, and that was a tenor saxophone player called Allan, who goes back to the bop. He worked with Tad Dameron and all those guys, and he was kind of a mysterious figure. He dropped out of sight. And nobody knew where he was. I talked to Ira Sullivan and I said, "Hey, Ira, you ever see a guy called Allan?" He said, "Oh, I know who Allan was." He said, "Well, I haven't seen him." But then he said, "I saw him in the University of Miami," and he said he was wearing some kind of flowing robes or something. He said, so he said he looked kind of weird, so I don't know. But anyway, I finally got a hold of this guy, and it turned out that he was living up in Edgewater, which is up the road here. It's a little more than up the road, but it's between here and Daytona Beach. And when I found that out, I found out that he was going to sit in at a little place in New Smyrna Beach, maybe, or something, one of those places up there. So okay, I went up there and I got to know Allan. And oh boy, was that! It was a big thrill for me. And I asked him to come into the station, not WCF, WMFE, the public radio set before they closed us down. And so he was with me for close to an hour, and I played the records of his that I had, and talked about his early life. He told me one of his stories about himself, where he was in New York, and one of his heroes was Ben Webster, and so he'd arranged with Ben to give him lessons, tenor saxophone lessons, and so he said, I went upstairs. This was in Harlem, and he said he went up to Ben's apartment, and so Ben said to him, he said, "Oh, no, then let me see what you can do, so I know what I have to do. Play something." So he said, what I did was I played some of Ben's own licks, stuff that I'd heard him playing with the Ellington band, And Ben started laughing, and he opened up the door and he shouted out, he says, "Hey, coming in here," he says, "this little white kid's playing all my stuff." So I said, that was my start with Ben Webster,